Why the angels stole? Is that your argument?
Yeah, that's a question.
Oh, it's a question?
Yeah.
So, do you not know the answer?
No.
So, how would you know the answer? Who should you ask? What should you read?
No, I'm asking you.
No, before you ask, look, people should not spoon feed you. You are an intelligent lady. You should be able to find the answer yourself. Right. So what have you done so far to find the answer yourself?
I asked some Muslim.
No, that's not how it should be. If you are looking at a question in a religious text, there are various ways, rather than coming to Speaker's Corner and finding the answer, because you might be asking the wrong person who doesn't know. So what should be your approach in learning about this particular question that you have?
You tell me.
Do you not know?
Answer the question.
Do you not know? So when you have a question about the Bible, what do you do to find out the answer?
I ask God.
You ask God?
Yeah.
And what does God say?
God will give me an answer.
Right. If it says, for example, God, why do you have a rainbow in the sky that you need to remember? And how would God respond to you?
He will give me an answer.
He will give you an answer. And you think it's from God.
You know that the believers is not wrong, it's actually right. This is how it's going.
What is that?
It's believers, but it says not
Brother,
wrong.
brother.
It's not believers, it says beliefs.
Believes.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
It's believers. It's supposed to be believers.
Yeah. Do you know why God created human beings and created the angels?
Okay, yeah,
God commanded. I'll help you. Brother, I'm giving the answer. So what are you providing?
Yeah.
It's just
Spelling mistake. Yeah.
Spelling mistake in the English, right?
Sorry, do you understand what this verse means?
Yeah, read the verse and I'll tell you. Tell me what you understand and see whether your understanding is correct.
Yeah. So, Surah 24.
Have you ever debated with him?
I have refuted him many times, yes.
Publicly?
Publicly, on stage.
On film?
On film. You need to watch those films.
And when we said, why Allah saying we?
Is that your question?
Yeah.
I thought you.
Another question. Which
Okay, look, stick with the first question. Don't go into many questions because you will not learn anything.
Okay. And when we said to the angels, prostrate before Adam, they prostrated except for Iblis, the devil. He refused, was arrogant and rejected the truth.
Yeah. And what do you understand by that?
I understand that Allah, when He created Adam, He asked the angels to worship Him. And when
To worship who?
Worship Adam.
Wrong understanding, but carry on.
Can you tell the full understanding?
So here, prostration doesn't necessarily mean worship. God is commanding to demonstrate and to show whether people or His creation is actually obedient to Him. So if God commands you to sacrifice or even, take it onto the altar and make slaughter of your daughter, that is not something about being inhuman. It's testing whether you actually have faith in God or not. So when Abraham was commanded by God in his dreams to sacrifice his son, this is testing Abraham whether he has total reliance and faith in God. Here, the command is given to the angels and all those who are there in present with the angels, the jinns.
What is the command for?
I am telling you, the command is there to do this action, bowing down or prostrating to Adam, to demonstrate whether people are obedient to God's commands. His creation is obedient to God's command. Can you tell her to not scream in my ears? Can you first tell her not to scream in my ears?
I'm not nobody's.
You don't know her?
I'm not her boss.
But you are together, right?
So when you prostrate
Okay, fine.
and pray,
So now, do you understand the reason of the command? Do you understand now the reason of the command?
So
when you prostrate,
yeah. So is prostrate can be given to any creation.
Firstly, this situation happened before you and I were here. I cannot speak to you if your Christian sister does the kind of things like that, right? Very bad behavior. Anyway, so this command that came was not while you and I were here. So when God commands something, this command need to understand in that perspective. Did the command of prostrating to Adam mean worshipping, or simply people just to prostrate to them? This is a prostration of obedience to God and His commands. So what we found, that every angels prostrated, followed the commands of God. They weren't worshipping Adam because they know none is worthy of worship apart from God. But they know they have to listen to God and God's command. So they prostrated. But there was another species, you can call it species, a genre of creation called the jinns. And Satan was one of them. Because he was arrogant, he didn't prostrate, because when God asked him, when I commanded you to prostrate, what prevented you from following that command? He says, Adam, you made him from clay, and I am made from smokeless fire. So how can I am better than him. So how can I prostrate to him? So Satan did not understand that command is worshipping him. He understood that Adam is actually in a lower form, made of mud and clay. He's made of smokeless fire. So because he's superior to him in creation, his arrogance came into play, and that's why he didn't want to prostrate. So this verse demonstrates to us in our understanding the importance of following God's command, and demonstrating that whoever does not follow God's command and becomes arrogant, their end would not be good. They will be justified in going to a place of punishment and torment called the hellfire, like Satan is going, because he did not repent from that action. He persisted in that action, and he will meet his doom in hellfire.
Would you prostrate before anybody else other than God?
No, I wouldn't.
Why not?
Because now, in our realities now today, prostration is exclusively should be to God. In the past, I'm telling you, I just told you, in the past, prostration could have been done to people who are elderly, someone who's scholarly, to religious people and so on. For example, in the Bible, which you believe in, the brothers of Joseph, the prophet, prostrated to Joseph. This is not a prostration of worship. You appreciate that example because you know the brothers were not worshipping Joseph. At that time, it was okay in the kind of prostration, which is a prostration of respect.
No, but submission.
So were they worshipping?
Submission.
Fine. Were they worshipping?
Submission.
Fine. Were they worshipping?
Submission. I can't tell you.
Okay. Were they submitting like God?
Yes.
So the brothers submitted to Joseph like God?
Yes.
So that Joseph has become a God?
No. In his dream, he saw the sun and the moon and the 12 stars worshipping him.
Worshipping or prostrating?
Yes. Worshipping.
What's the word used in Hebrew?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know Hebrew.
Should you not know?
I don't have to know Hebrew.
Should you not know? Because it may be the words that you now has juxtaposed in it doesn't mean that. Just like Jesus, when you say he's a son of God, actually in most of the cases he's called a servant of God. It makes a difference. Someone called a son of God and a servant of God. So original language is very important. So I humbly and kindly ask you to go back to the original and find out what it is. Because we know many people in the cultures of the old, they prostrated to people. But that prostration doesn't mean they worship him.
Yeah.
That wasn't worship.
That is of submission.
It wasn't of worship. Thank you.
It was.
Fine.
It
Next
was
question.
Of submission.
Not of worship.
Total surrender.
Not of worship.
Total surrender.
Not of worship.
Total surrender.
You agree it wasn't of worship. Next question.
So, was the devil, Iblis, right in not prostrating before Adam? Was he not right in not prostrating
Of course
before
not.
Adam?
Devil, Shaitan, disobeyed God's command. God didn't tell him to worship someone else.
Yeah,
You see?
that's what he says. God says, prostrate before Adam, which is like act of worship, which is
Your particular
yeah.
particular understanding being imposed in there is not going to work. You have to do hermeneutics properly. Do you understand? When you do hermeneutics, when you do
Is Quran
for people of intellect and knowledge and reason. The Quran guides people who are sincere and reasonable, and it will not guide people who are arrogant and insincere. So if you're one of them, then I can't help you. So if you're sincere and reasonable, you'll realize this prostration is not of worship. It is simply out of demonstrating command of God, whether they're following the commands of God. Iblis or Shaitan disobeyed God's command. That is why he is worthy of being punished because of his disobedience. Next question.
Why did Allah command Iblis to bow to Adam? Why did Allah command
The angels.
Various reasons. One of the main reasons that we understand is this, is to demonstrate to Adam, the first man that God created, that this Shaitan is going to be your open enemy. Learn now. Look at him now. He is disobeying me, and he is going to try to mislead you while you will be on earth. So be wary and careful of the footstep of Satan, his soldiers, himself. So when you are going to be on this earth and you want to worship God, always be in mind and always be careful about Shaitan, who will, because of an avowed enemy of yours, try to mislead you. So this was a demonstration of how and why you should be very careful about that particular individual called Satan.
So Allah is giving his only privilege of being worshipped to Adam, and that is Iblis.
I don't think you have a comprehension problem, so why are you keeping on repeating the same thing that I said? It doesn't mean that. We've moved on. Next question.
No, we have not moved on.
Then I cannot continue talking to you anymore because you seem to have a comprehension issue. Do you know when we speak? Let me.
You are the only person who can comprehend
Look,
Quran.
how many Muslims on planet Earth today?
Do they understand?
Wait, 1 second. How many
Do they
Muslims?
understand this?
I'm going to tell you
Okay.
precisely that question. How do they understand it not? How many Muslims?
You can read in your Arabic.
One fifth to 1/4 of the population is a Muslim.
Yes,
And guess
because-
what?
Because nobody
Excuse
knows
me.
Arabic.
Excuse me.
Because most of
No.
them don't know Arabic. Are you telling me 1
Listen.
million people know Arabic?
These people,
It's not.
even though they don't know Arabic, a large number, they know this prostration is not a prostration of worship. You come along and speak as corner as a Christian, and you think you know better. Firstly, you don't know the Arabic language. You don't know our tradition.
What I'm asking you.
I'm telling you, you have a comprehension issue.
You take your Arabic Quran and tell it for me in English, which
It
I
just
can
tells you.
understand.
It tells you, yeah. فسجدوا إلا إبليس أبى واستكبر وكان من
Can you take your Arabic Quran and read
But
it
how would you understand what I'm reading in Arabic?
and explain it to us?
I've just explained to you, this is exactly what it says in English there. If you don't have a comprehension issue, then that's good. But if you have a comprehension issue, it will be difficult for us to have a dialogue.
Looks like
Look.
you're the only person.
All the
planet
Muslims,
Earth.
all the
Looks
Muslims.
like you're the only person on planet Earth who has comprehension, and everybody else are dumb. Is that what you're saying?
Now, I am saying you have a comprehension issue. All Muslims, when they read this ayah, they do not understand, like you do, that this prostration is a prostration of worship. So clearly, the comprehension, the lack of comprehension is on your side. So either you need to go and learn a bit more about English language or something about linguistic skills. Next question.
Are you challenging my English knowledge and linguistics?
Yes. Yeah, I am.
You have a problem. It means that you have a problem in English.
Okay, let's try English. Let's see what okay, I'm going to test that to you now.
No,
I'm going to test it.
You have no authority.
No, I'm going to test your English.
You have no authority. to
Because
test my
because
English.
you somehow thought that because I'm challenging you when you may be a professor of English. Okay, what is what?
have
I'm
no
going to test you.
authority to test my English.
Not authority.
Is that
I'm
plain
testing you
enough? Is that plain
in the
enough?
spirit of discussion.
Is my statement
In
plain
the spirit
enough?
of discussion,
Is my
I'm
statement
going to find out.
My statement plain enough? You have no authority.
It's not about authority.
You don't have
In
any,
the spirit of discussion.
No, you don't have any.
Let me tell you why you don't comprehend. Let me tell you why you don't comprehend. If I say there is one fruit called apple and one fruit called banana, apple, banana, and one fruit called orange. One apple, one banana or one orange. How many fruits are there? Let's see whether you comprehend it. How many fruits?
Looks like you haven't already answered.
Hang on. How many fruits? 1 second. How many fruits?
Because you cannot
Hang
answer
on.
this question.
How many fruits?
You can't answer this question.
No, I have answered. Oh, you have a comprehension issue as well. Okay, let me test you. Let me. Right. It looks like. Hang on.
Subject.
It looks like every single Christian have a comprehension issue. So let me know.
What we see here is that
Yes.
Iblis is commanded to prostrate before Adam, and Iblis wouldn't do it, okay?
Yeah.
Iblis was
And
being
what
a
was
better
my
Muslim.
what
in a
was my
sense.
answer?
Yes.
What was my
Iblis
answer?
was being a better Muslim.
What was my answer?
Than others. Okay?
What does a Muslim mean?
A Muslim, someone who submits to Allah. Okay.
Hear that? A Muslim means someone who submits to Allah.
Yeah.
So when Allah commanded him, did he submit to him?
No, Iblis.
No, he didn't. So was he a better Muslim?
Because
Mic drops.
Iblis is asking.
Next question.
Because he wouldn't commit
Fine.
shirk.
This is done. This is
Iblis
done.
would not commit
This is
shirk.
Iblis understood
Even
it
though
was
Allah
not about.
commanded him. Iblis would not commit shirk, would he? He would not bow down to
Iblis.
Allah. Okay.
Yes.
Do you know the
Iblis
difference
will not
between? Do you know the
bow down
difference
to
between
creation.
u'budu and usjudu?
Iblis was more sensitive and he would not
hello?
bow down to a creation.
Oh, you're going to discuss between yourself to understand some bit better? Do you know the difference between worship me or worship and prostrate? Do you know the difference?
Okay. Prostrate is to fall before someone.
And what is worship and prostrate? Are they synonymous?
Worshipping.
Are they synonymous?
Honor to someone, religious honor, okay? Honor us.
Are they
God.
synonymous?
Okay, they're not synonymous.
Thank you. Here, does the Quran use the word worship or prostrate?
Prostrate.
Thank you. So, refute it again. So now, let me ask you this question, because I think you are likewise as a Christian, may have some comprehension issue. So I'm going to ask you this question again. One apple, one banana, and one orange. How many fruits? How many fruits?
Why are you trying to divert?
Not diverting.
You are diverting.
This is an English question. Okay, if
Three fruits. Three fruits.
Three fruits. Now, one God the Father, one God the Son, and one God the Holy Spirit. How many gods?
I don't want to discuss the Quran.
You cannot
Because
explain
you
to
Not
us
diverting.
You cannot discuss the
Remember.
Quran.
why
You prefer to
Satan
go
did
on to the
not,
Trinity.
Let me help you something. Let me help you.
Why are you
The
trying
reason
to
I asked about comprehension issue is
You're
he had
diverting.
no issue
Is that the greatest
Listen,
form
listen.
of worship? Is
when we say
that
one fruit, banana, orange and apple, he had no hesitation in saying three fruits.
Yeah.
But when we talk about one God the Father, one God the Holy Spirit, one God the Son, how many gods?
Is there
How many gods?
any way
How many gods?
you would worship other
No.
than
How many
Is
gods?
there any way
How many
you
gods?
would worship
No,
other
he's
than
not even
prostrate?
listening.
Is there any way
One second,
you
we're
gonna
would
divert.
worship
Sorry.
We're not
other
going to
than
divert,
prostrate?
Mansur.
One second.
You want to divert?
One
Here we
second.
go.
Looks like you have some comprehension issue
what-
or
I wasn't
explanation
listening.
issue.
I wasn't listening to you, so one
Okay.
second.
I'm
So now,
asking the same question.
hold on. Relax.
No.
Do you want me to answer?
Is there any other way
Can
you
I-
show
can I answer?
worship?
Can I answer?
Is there any other way you
Sure.
show worship?
Can I answer?
Other than prostrate.
Can I answer?
Yes.
Thank you. Hold on. Now, one God the Father, one God the Holy Spirit,
We don't
one
want
God
to
the Son.
divert.
How many gods?
We don't want to divert
It's not
on the
diversion.
Trinity.
It's called comprehension
We don't
check.
want to divert on the Trinity.
It's called comprehension
We
check.
don't want to divert onto
Okay.
the Trinity, Mansur.
Let me ask you.
We want to address this question.
Speak English?
now.
Right. Listen carefully. One fruit, apple, banana, another one fruit, and orange one fruit. How many fruits? Three fruits.
They don't know it.
Of course they'll run away. So now, if you have one God the Father, one God the Holy Spirit, and one God the Son, how many gods? Three. Did he answer? He knows he will not answer. He knows it's three, but you have a comprehension issue, right? Isn't it? Or the disease in the heart.
And he refused to bow down
No.
to any other
Why are you speaking to the
thing
audience?
other than God.
Khalas. Cut.
Yes.
No free publicity.
That's what you do.
No
You
free
del-
publicity.
You
We will
all the
refute.
Christian arguments.
We will refute when it comes necessary.
No, you could
So
not
now,
refute. You could not refute.
that's what I'm saying. You have a comprehension issue.
Satan,
You know what?
Satan is better.
Learn some English and we can talk.
Muslims.
You know what? Why don't you give us some English lesson and then we can talk her and talking. There's no point talking to her when she doesn't understand English.
Yes, that's
No.
what you do. That's
It's a free advice.
That's
It's a free advice. I'm not going to charge for this advice. Free. This advice is free. Learn English and come back.